Hey, it's me, Puppet DM, and I'm here to tell you all about the sponsors we have here at the Wandering Society. We're sponsored here by Mage and Press, makers of a bunch of 5th edition supplements, like the Book of Kobolds or their series of new classes. And don't forget, Arcmada, the amazing sci-fi fantasy campaign setting for the world's greatest role-playing game. Be sure to check them out at store.mageandpress.com. Up next, we have Roll20. It's the platform we use here at the Wandering Society to play all of our games. It's easy to use, intuitive, and it now comes with dark mode. Be sure to check them out at roll20.net. We're also sponsored by Telsorian Games. Telsorian Games make great RPGs, and they've been doing so since the early 90s. Check their books. They've got Cyberpunk Red, which Simon tells me has been played here extensively, Castle Falkenstein, which also has been played here, and The Witcher, which has also been. Okay, we get it! Check them out at your FLGS or online at rtelsoriangames.com. Have you ever wanted to wake up and smell the coffee? Well, now you can with this next sponsor, Found Familiar. Get yourself some damn good coffee at foundfamiliar.com and use the code on the screen to get 15% off. What do you mean I can't drink coffee? What the fuck is felt? And we couldn't end this segment without talking about our good friends at Die Hard Dice. That's right. As a Dice affiliate, we are proud to partner with Die Hard Dice to bring you only the best in shiny click-clacks. Click-clacks? What is... Ow. You can check their ever-growing collection over at dieharddice.com and use the link below to get 15% off. You're putting this all on me? I better get a cut.
Hey everyone, good afternoon. We are back with some more Scion. I am, of course, Wandering VM. I'll be playing the Fates for our game today. And let me just grab the audio for my players so you can all hear them. There we go. So we are at session 47. And things are heating up for the Scions. We will get back into the action, but first, let's just introduce our cast very quickly. We'll begin with the person to, let's go with over there, bottom right on the overlay. So we'll begin with Lynn. Hi, how are you and who are you playing?
Hey, I'm doing good, and I'm Lynn, Gremlin Art, she, they, and today I am playing Dihiga, daughter of Inari, she, her.
Awesome. Up next, Hawkeye.
Hello, everyone. I'm Hawkeye, or Kentucky Hawkeye, and I will be playing Finbar Odubda, Scion or son of Ogma.
And on the upper row, we have, to begin with, Renee. Hi, how are you?
Hi, my name is Renee Rhodes. She, her pronouns for me and for Morning, my character, who is the daughter of the Morgan and swings big sword.
And last but not least, Hannah.
Hey, I am Hannah, she, her, and in this game I am playing Kieran Kearney, Scion of Loki, he, him.
And, we left off last time, before our, break for PAX. We were in Sweden. And we had just left fake Kieran's apartment. In fact, you learned there that fake Kieran was none other than a, let's say, person, but none other than Nidogger, the snake that eats at the roots of the world. More or less condemned to eat the dead and the sinners for eternity. Jealous of the other beings in the universe who could actually have a life. Seems that Nidhogger finally got his wish. And has been living, for a year at least, in Kieran's stead. So you went to his loft, very spacious, very devoid of a lot of things. It pretty much looked like a perfect bachelor's pad, almost. Save for the closet full of guns and the strange security that was installed in that place. Gold filigree that would attack people, doors that you could melt into, walls that seemed a little sus, and a whole sort of surveillance system that allowed him to spy on you and give you a call from wherever he is. We were done with that, and we were moving on after a few, if I remember correctly, it was a few well-placed requests to different spirits to screw up his electronics. Where to now? We'll pick back up.
Didn't we go to Ireland?
We went to Dublin.
Yeah.
We went to Dublin,
Yes.
and now we're in the process of doing some tracking.
Infiltrating.
Yes, I forgot that tiny part. You went to the Queen's Guard office in Dublin and met with
Our
I
old
don't
friend.
have that.
Mhm.
Yes.
Our old friend who drove us around a lot.
Your old friend Vidya, who had figured out that something was special about you, and something was wrong with Kieran, well, at least fake Kieran, and allowed you to go into the office. And we ended the episode, that's true, in this cubicle farm with a bunch of computers, desks, and all that, big office space. And you
And
who
we're
were
all-
about to look for something.
We're all huddled around Kieran.
Yeah, we're doing
In
the
this
equivalent
little-
of walking through a drive-through here with this
Small
school.
bubble.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
Small group of people.
Oh, that's right, because you made us invisible or something like
Right.
that.
Yeah, giant
We're
illusion
invisible,
that you're
and
not
Kieran looks like he works here,
Hmm.
but
Mhm,
not as Kieran. Wait, as Kieran? No, no,
No,
no. You're
I
as some other
turned
random
myself
employee.
into Sam Rockwell, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, Scions, you are alone in this office space. What do you do?
All right, we need to find which is going to be the most likely terminal that we can get all the information we need from.
Oh, it really doesn't matter. I can do most of them. Just see if I can figure out where communications come from. If there's any place in London in particular that these things are coming from.
Yep.
And I don't actually have to go there. I can just do that from here. So I am going to wirelessly check this their database or like in and out communications. See if there's any place within London that comes up.
Are you using
frequently.
any of your casual miracles for that?
No.
Okay, just checking.
Mhm.
What is it that you are using?
I am using wireless interface on there.
Okay. For some reason, I have lost your camera. Snapchat decided that you were a big icon instead.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you're back.
Oh, is it still doing it?
No, you're back.
Oh, weird. Okay. I'll put that in. Okay, there you go.
Oh,
put that
thank
in.
you. Yes, and they are indeed on and functional. What's what is the level of the skill that you're using for this? I assume technology, but the knack skill, just to
Yes.
know how many machines you can interface with at a time.
5.
5? All right. So we'll start with 1,
I
and we'll
think it
go
says
from
it
there.
says,
It's equal to your knack skill.
Oh, what is next skill? The next skill. Next skill is technology, right? Okay. 5, yeah, 5. 5.
Yeah.
That's why I said 5.
So you can
course.
immediately set 5
Okay.
machines. Oh, Snapchat did the thing again. And you're back. I have no idea what's going on.
Did it do it again? Okay, it's doing. It's weird.
Yeah, it just keeps like blinking. But anyway,
It's weird.
Your tech is trying to hide you from the people who are trying to see what we're doing.
Let me
Mhm.
just. There we go. Deal God.
okay.
All right, that should be working better.
You set the machines to search for locations in London, locations that would come up often. There are like a few. I mean, Queen's Guard has been rightfully so hired to guard sometimes or provide security for royal family events, which makes sense given the name, but also given how well rated this company is. There's a lot of areas, especially in downtown London, that have required the Queen's Guard services, hotels, public events, a few like dignitaries that needed additional protection along like a travel route through the city, and a few areas like pockets of houses, really like residential area, places where it would seem strange to have like hired a security company. And they weren't just to like install, I don't know, like security systems or anything like that. Like it really was for just staff. And you notice there's one place that just has this like continuous contract where the company is basically on retainer. And
Mhm.
that's a place on the outskirts of London. Let me grab the place. Ooh. It's in a place called Gravesend.
Hmm.
So it's outside of London proper by
Mhm.
a couple minutes. A residential place, nothing too special to write home about, you know? Nice
course.
houses, a lot of green spaces, type of let's say almost like middle class to upper middle class maybe areas. You've been to London before anyway, so you know what to expect as far as residential areas go. You know, houses that are all stuck together, very very narrow, small backyards and all that.
Mhm.
But yeah, there's one. It's like in middle of a street, surrounded by other houses. And the contract actually specifically does not state a name for a client.
Hey, I think I found something, and I'll put the information if anyone's on their cell phones. Yeah, this thing right here looks interesting. It's on continual contract. Boring. Unsuspect. No name to the client, so it's weird. Everything is weird, just because it's so like trying to be careful. I think, hopefully, but
Almost a
this
little
is-
too careful, you might say.
yes, and it's within London, so it's actually not incredibly far off of where that first ping came up. So that's maybe something we can look into.
I'd call
This
it
is
elite.
Yes.
a good starting point.
Mm-hmm.
Great work, Dee.
Thanks. Thanks. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do something too. Can I leave a or like a alarm, like a alert in case someone from, I'll just say someone inquires about information
About the place?
about if there's anything unusual that has come up, like
Yes, I will ask you for. Let's go with cunning and technology. And however many successes you
all right,
have,
cunning and technology. Good.
basically, if someone beats that number, they could potentially slip through your gaze.
Mm-hmm. 7
7.
successes.
Ooh.
All right,
Nice.
that is godlike in difficulty. I don't think any human would be able to get past that. Difficulty 7.
So I'm basically leaving one of my like little Fox programs in there just to alert us if anything's being routed up to where we're going or inquires about us in some way.
Excellent.
All right.
Some little foxes to spoil the vines.
The fox spirit has been put in place. They're going to keep watch on anyone who looks into the four of you in particular, or inquires about the house.
All right, I think we have a little bit of safeguard. It's not 100%, but hopefully, if anyone either dispatches toward the house or looks up or inquires about any of us, it'll come up something. So we'll have a little bit of warning.
Good work.
All right.
Excellent.
I think we found what we look for. In case anyone has any ideas of anything else we should do here.
All right. On the weird chance that was just one of many outlying points, is there any way we can find out from here if that's been connecting or been used as a conduit by any other location? Say that was one of many stops that they tried to send the message to try to muddy the trail.
We'll keep... Well, actually, I don't think...
A little bit of a double check.
No, it would require a check in this case, though.
Yeah.
In this case, I would require a intellect and technology if you wanted to look for that, because this is definitely not something that is readily available.
All right, intellect and tech. What the hell? Okay, there you go. 2 successes.
So with 2 successes, you can see that there's a lot of chatter, let's say. Partly because a lot of like video surveillance equipment routes their feed to, well, depending on like which video surveillance like package a client has purchased or whatever, like feeds will also be will also pass by the office's databases, the servers over here. So there is a lot of like signals coming and going. But since you know where that loft was in Sweden, you can look. You know where to look, and indeed, it went through. It went through Queensguard, not specifically the Ireland office, but I mean it's the same servers for everyone. There's a way for you to see that, and yeah, it went through like a mundane. It took a mundane route to spy on you.
Interesting.
However, the end point of that seems to ping all over the place, and that little bit is less mundane. There's definitely something there.
Well, I guess it looks like we need to take a little trip to old London town.
Yep.
Oh, there we go. Okay, I was searching for something in my notes that I was like, I know I've written it. Just didn't remember where. Yes, I have my stuff. So how do you plan to go to old London town?
Can we not just use the front door as a doorway? Teleport to London?
Who among you had that power again? I think it was Finbar?
It was
Or someone else?
It was me, I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was like
because you took us through the
Ivy 2.
through the
like,
Ivy wall.
Through the Ivy, yeah. I mean it's like residential London. There's got to be like something, some garden or wall trellis of ivy somewhere.
I would
Plus, we want to
imagine
keep off of being
with my
tracked.
travels
Also,
as a
would be
professor,
good.
I've probably seen something somewhere in London.
Well, yes, you could like teleport somewhere to like downtown London, definitely. then you would just have to make your way like on foot or by car or what have you.
That's fine.
That would be the easiest without having to like scour Google Map for a place, a suitable like landing zone. But otherwise, just going back to London. I mean, you've been into some of the parks there already when you were
It
looking
would also
for.
be good to have like have a vehicle, like so maybe just get there and like rent something and then get there.
It's not like money was any issue. So you exit the Queen's Guard office.
Yeah.
Vidya makes it a point not to look in your direction, but you can see him just nod and smile as you exit. And he waits for you all to be outside before turning the cameras back on and acting as if something had just gone amiss. You know that, like,
Can I do something? Can I do something for them before we go?
Yes, sure. What?
Can I do something for them? I'm gonna. They were helpful, and I'm gonna use blessed wealth to give them some money.
I was gonna say that person needs a little Christmas bonus in their check.
A little bit of blessing, yeah, a little bit of a blessing. I'll put that in the.
No, I got it.
Where's that thing in the? Yeah.
So
Is it spend one thing, or is it the same thing as the
Oh, if it's a blessed
Is it
wealth
spend,
is actually you spend a point of
one
legend.
legend, or is
It's not just imbue. That one you're gonna have
okay,
to
yeah, okay, good.
work a bit for it to get back.
Yes.
So Vidya doesn't know
Yeah,
it
okay.
yet, but the scratcher ticket he has in his pocket. A ticket he probably has forgotten about at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a winning ticket for like $10,000.
Nice. Good.
So he makes it a point to act as if, something had just happened. If Queensguard was just run by mortals, you don't think it would be any problem for Vidya to hide any traces of tampering. But if the place is looked over by someone who has, D's level of power over technology, you might not have as much time as you think you have, is all I will say. And with that, you walk through the ivy wall, disappear and reappear in that same park in London that you were when you were looking for Killian's burrow. Or like the tunnel that he had dug and hid stuff under.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, back here. Good. Oh. I guess we find a car rental place and make our way there.
Yeah, let's move.
Renting a car and driving there takes you about like a half hour, almost 45 minutes, and about midway through that trek, I'm gonna need to make a roll.
Uh-oh.
D, you get a ping from your fox spirit.
Oh, yeah, she'll take out her phone and look at it.
Someone's been attempting to look for anything that could have been tampered with, starting with the house in question, like the contract about the house.
Mm-hmm.
They did not see your spirit software. They didn't.
Mm-hmm.
They tripped it, but as far as you know,
They
they
may
are not
protect
aware
that.
of you. But you are aware of them.
Hey, everyone. Got a little bit of ping from the Fox Spirit program. Someone's been looking, just double checking on the if anything's been tampered in the place we're going and a few other places. So
Any way to
Is
see
there
where
any-
the check came from?
Yeah, it's gonna any way to find out who it might have been, who or where.
oh,
Yes.
is there a way to check, like, to like
Where it could have come from?
yeah.
Perhaps. So let me just check one thing. It came from that house.
That the house we're going to?
Yep.
Yeah, it's all right. We should definitely be careful. It came from the it might be routing through it or something, but that inquiry came from inside the place we're going, so we should just be careful in case someone's actually there and looking through it rather than being a place that things are routed through. So
Well, at least if he's there, then that means that we're almost on him. So the sooner we find him, the better.
hopefully it's just him and not all of his friends, of course.
Ah, that bastard doesn't have any friends.
If he had friends, he wouldn't
Fellow
be having
goblins.
to kidnap people.
All the fellow godlings that we are not, we do not have a good relations in either case, so that. So yeah, I guess we're getting, this is actually, so this actually being a place that's going to be promising, it's actually looking a lot better.
If there's activity there, then that means there's more possibilities for us to find what we're looking for.
Yeah. And we didn't just come to London for a sightseeing tour, so cool.
By the time you arrive at this house, you notice it's in a dead end, a little like cul-de-sac, if you will, but a very small cul-de-sac. It's almost like if these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, it's basically 6 houses that are just huddled around a parking lot at the end of a narrow street. Most of the street is blocked by a city what's that name? What's that word? Do not worry, by the way, about morning leaving chat. That's okay. There was something, and if everything's okay, morning will be back with us. I am looking at. It is called a. Oh, come on.
Are you talking about like a
Some
street
sort of-
sweeper?
Like
Yeah,
street
like
maintenance or something?
yeah, it would be like street maintenance. Which I realize now that we do not have the same. It's literally not the same thing in French. No, it doesn't mean anything like that. But yes, if you like street maintenance, it's got like it's this, red and yellow pickup truck with a rather long the back part of a pickup. Oh God, words
Bed?
this morning. Yes, thank you.
It's got a long bed in the back.
Yeah, in which you can see those orange plastic cones. There's like a spare road work sign. a few sandbags, blah blah blah. But the way it's placed, it almost blocks not only the entrance to the cul-de-sac, but also the entrance to a house. Like if it was anything like a civilian's car, a normal person's car, at some point the cops would have seen it and just like given them a ticket because they clearly cannot be parked there. But looking at that pickup, it seems to have been placed there for some time now. In fact, even the other cars in this little cul-de-sac, they, you know, grass has grown around them. You know, when you park a car in a place that's got like weeds or something, you know, you're not always necessarily going to be exactly on the same like tire tracks every time. So you might be a little off one day, a little off the other, and when the grass, the weeds grow, they're not, you know, they'll be bent or broken, or, you know, you'll sort of see like where the old tracks used to be. In this case, it seems like these cars, there's like 4 of them, including the pickup. They must have stayed there for like a month or 2 without ever moving.
It looks like no lawn care's been done or anything.
No lawn care, and they
on
haven't
just one house or all of them.
Well, it's so imagine if like let's say it's like a squarish U shape.
Right.
So 3 of the cars are parked in here. The pickup is like sort of like diagonal like this, and it's all around. The grass has just been left to grow. No one's been taking care of their lawns. Yet you notice, so again, squarish U, 3 houses on each side. Some of them, 2 on the right-hand side and the far one on the on the left, they have lights coming out of the windows. And in one, you can see, let's say it's the one in the far left, like you can see that the light changes from time to time, which is probably just a TV screen that's been left on, like something's playing on TV, and you can see from time to time the light is like more bluish, and then yellower, and then just darker, and then whoops, it goes back to like bright white, and changes almost erratically, like if someone was, you know, watching a movie in the dark. And you can only see the light through the curtains. The other 3 houses are completely dark, including the one that the pickup seems to be blocking.
Interesting.
Quick question for all of you. Do you try to park inside this cul-de-sac?
Probably not.
It wouldn't be a good
We'd be
idea.
parking
Yeah, there's
probably,
probably like
down the
there's
street a
probably
little
street
bit.
cameras around, possibly.
Yeah, it being England, probably. It's just, I want to know, because if you try to park in the parking lot, like, you'll have to squeeze past the pickup truck. So if anything was to happen, not saying that anything will happen, but getting out quickly will be an issue. Otherwise, yeah, you can definitely just park like on the street farther away and just walk your way back to the house.
Probably what we would do, especially seeing a truck positioned like that.
It's all right. If we need to make a quick getaway, can always like pre-start the car if we need to go. So
Yeah. All right. Shall we go do a little bit of surveillance?
Actually, you know what? I might be good at that. I can turn to a little fox, like, and then just kind of like run around.
turn into a fox. Where do you want to go exactly? What's your plan?
Just to like scout the perimeter of the house. Just like see if I can get through the fence, check the back, and then just kind of do a circle around.
Do you start by the side that's in the cul-de-sac or the other way around? Because technically, the side facing the cul-de-sac is like let's call it the front lawn.
Mm-hmm. By the cul-de-sac, we'll do it that way.
Okay. You creep up into the cul-de-sac. Of course, all of these front lawns, they're all, there's a little like brick wall around with an alley not an alley, but like a passageway that leads to the front door. And when you turn to one side, you would see like the actual front lawn of this house, which has one of them like has a garden, the other has just it's just like grass and a little bit of a hedge. One has its like garbage and recycling bins out and about. Most of them, the lawns seem entirely mundane. There's one where basically the one that's like half hidden by the pickup truck, or half blocked, I should say, not necessarily hidden but blocked, where their hedge, like they had like a hedge under a window. It's died out completely. It's dead. Yet the lawn has been, I'm not going to say manicured, but grass has been mowed regularly. It doesn't look like none of these houses actually, save for the weeds in the parking lot. Like all of the other ones, they look like, people have been taking care of them.
Mm-hmm.
Where to now?
I'll return and say, yeah, there's relay that, and we'll be like, all right, so sneaky way or direct way?
But we don't know what's waiting in there. Wouldn't it be better to be sneaky?
Yeah,
I would agree. So
I would agree with that as well. Stealth will be our best advantage at this point.
So you move closer to the house. Could you all make a stealth check? We're gonna use that for your approach and whatever happens inside.
what is this stealth thing?
Stealth.
Oh yeah. Sorry. This game. Dex and subterfuge. No. Sorry. Dex and subterfuge. Oh boy. I still have the skills from. They came from Beneath the Sea. And I was gonna say like larceny. No, wait. Larceny is not a thing that exists in this one. Dex and subterfuge.
Larceny. Jesus Christ. All right, there you go.
Making up for me on this one.
You can hide under my coat.
11.
I don't have very many points in either of these. So.
Well, if anything, they will hear you first.
Mm-hmm.
Question for you: the passage that leads from the cul-de-sac to the door is rather narrow. Well, narrow. There's a little fence on the one side, and the other side is the yard. But like the sidewalk in itself is wide enough to let like one person after the other. Only it's so narrow that like only one person can actually go all the way to the door if they want to open it, or do anything with it. Who amongst you would be the first person? Who takes point?
I'll go first since I got the highest stealth roll.
Okay. Morning will get the rear for now.
Mm-hmm.
You make your way up to the door. And as the four of you do so, you begin to notice first Kieran, then whoever's in second place, and then whoever's in third place, that the closer you get to the door, the darker the world around you seems to be.
Don't like that.
Like, the sun is already set. Technically, we are in the, I believe it would be... Oh god, with all that teleporting, my,
It probably wasn't that
my
long. I
time
think it
zones
was
are
like-
all screwed up. Yeah, no,
You're
wait,
being
because you were
GMT
in
right now.
Sweden. That was later, so you teleported to earlier. So it would still be in the... We'll say we would be in the afternoon. And it still feels dark. Like the sun has set.
Cool.
But that's, like, the closer you get to the door, the darker it feels. Hello! Welcome back. We were saying you guys are sneaking up to the door of the house.
Sneaking.
And the closer you get to the front door, the darker the world around you seems to be. As if the sun was setting. Even though we're in, let's say, mid-afternoon, normally. By the time you reach the door, Kieran, it feels like you are in the wee hours of the... Well, wee hours of the morning. You know, like 3 a.m.? Kind of witching hour. The door in front of you, by the way, looks completely mundane. It's a white door with that little, like, frosted window in the middle. It's got a very normal knob to turn. You see
Yeah,
that
nothing
there's
bad has ever happened to me for reaching out and grabbing something without first checking it, so sure.
I'm just saying, it doesn't look like, let's say, for instance, fake Kieran's apartment door.
Uh-huh.
No gold decorations or anything.
So you're saying I could hit this one with my big sword and it would probably be fine?
Stealth? We're trying for stealth.
That's true. While you were away, Renee, the choice was they're going stealth. So if you want to make a Dex and stealth check, Dex and
Sure.
subterfuge. Sorry, Dex and subterfuge.
I will
Subterfuge.
respect the wishes of the party.
Three.
Yay!
Right. So, Kieran, door
Open.
locked. Because of course, the moment you grab the handle and you try to turn it, regardless of which way you try to turn it, it doesn't move. It just...
Mm-hmm. Can Finbar sense anything magic?
Ooh, that's true. Finbar,
Yeah,
you can sense
let me-
magic.
Let me see if I can sense anything magical about it.
Uh,
Magic.
About the door, maybe, or even the house front in general.
what was that power you had that let you detect magic again?
That is. Let's see, hang on.
Oh, presence of magic.
Presence of magic, yeah.
Yes. That would be in the hero book. Give me just 2 seconds. I want to make sure that
Sure.
before I give you any answer, that I'm not talking out of my ass. That would be a knack, correct? Is it a
Yeah,
knack?
yes. Yeah, it's a knack.
And that goes under one of your callings. Your callings being... I know you had liminal. Ugma calling. Let me just grab that. Quick second. I believe that would be Sage. That's a Sage knack.
I think so.
Blockade, Palace of Memory, presence of magic. Okay, so you know if yes or no. There is magic around you, but the door itself is not magical. But not the whole world, but there is. The moment you stepped on the sidewalk to walk towards the house, you entered an area of magic. Like, imagine if there was like a dome or a bubble around it.
Mm-hmm.
Like a magical aura is all around this.
And the house is smack dab in the middle of it.
Ah.
Question. If we do a casual miracle and there's nobody around to see it, does it still have some sort of like adverse effect, or is it only if somebody witnesses it?
Wait, repeat that?
If we do a casual miracle and no mortal person is around to see it, does it still count towards
the
our
collateral, the eventual collateral?
Yeah.
Yes, because it's not if there are mortal witnesses, it's the world itself, fate itself tries to rearrange things.
Gotcha.
But remember, you need to bring it to 10 for anything to happen. You are currently at 2. So you have wiggle room.
Okay. Well, I have a casual miracle where I can negate the structure or power of a single mechanical or electronic device, such as making batteries fail or a lock fall apart. So can I use that to just like break the lock on the door?
Oh yeah, you can just like touch the handle and all of a sudden it just comes apart.
Okay.
Like all of its pieces, all of its components just falls onto the ground. The door is open. Well, I mean, it's closed, but you can easily push it open. There's also a hole where the handle used to be.
Okay, so let's quietly push it open.
It doesn't even creak. Inside is dark. There's a hallway in front of you. To the side, you notice that there will be like a staircase to go up. The hallway itself leads to a room at the far end. There's an opening on the right-hand side, almost a little bit farther than where your arm can reach. And then another one on the opposite side, which would end up being under the stairs. There are voices. They're garbled. You can't really make out exact words. Like if you were to hear someone speak in a different language that you do not speak, but that would have the exact same like accent as yours. Like it sounds.
Am I close enough to hear this yet? Use my omniglot ability?
The moment you would enter the house.
Okay.
So long as you're outside the like threshold of the door, there is no sound. In fact.
Okay. All right, I will hold that action for as soon as I get in the house to try to figure out see if I can figure out what's being said.
So yeah, garbled voices, but it's it's where they come from. It's weird. Because they echo through the house as if like those people were inside the walls. Not anywhere in the room.
Like speakers built into the walls or something.
Yeah, speakers, but that would also like echo a bit. Like imagine if let's say, you know, when you were younger, let's say during the holidays, and you were going, like, you went to bed, but the rest of your family would stay up and chat, and, like, you could hear their voices from farther away. But as you fall asleep, you sort of, like, it just becomes, like, noise. Kind of like that. Except there's no real direction. They come from everywhere but nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Potentially the second floor, but they sound too far away to just be from the second floor. There is definitely something fucky going on.
We'll follow Kieran's lead as far as.
Well, we're gonna head in. Mm-hmm. Let me see.
When the four of you enter, you all hear, you know, garbled voices. Finbar, even with your omniglot, you know they speak a language. It's probably English. Something's obscuring it.
Almost like someone's scrambling it, but not quite.
Yeah, like it's not quite thieves' cant because they're not saying actual words.
Yeah.
Oh, imagine Pig Latin.
Okay.
Except
a cross
not
between Pig Latin and Cockney rhyming speech.
Sort of, but none of the words are actual words. They're just a mishmash of syllables strung together. It is not a language of either the mundane or, as far as you know, the divine. There's probably something magical scrambling
almost
everything.
I don't know what's going on, but that's not a language of any sort.
Yeah.
Magical or mundane. It's almost like it's phonetic, or it's almost like phonetic salad. It's just a bunch of phonetic sounds, but there's no connection to it.
And could you give me composure and integrity?
Composure. Yeah. Integrity. Got some. 2.
2 successes. So while you can't really make out what the voice is saying, at some point you hear a voice that you recognize, despite the noise being ununderstandable, impossible to understand. You could swear you heard Nemain.
Oh.
Oh.
That is one of the. I whisper to them, everyone else. Strangest part is one of those voices is Nama. Except they're scrambling her speech or something. And unless someone blocks the way, I'm going to start heading right towards that sound.
Like I said, the sound comes from everywhere at once. There are so far that you can see 3 rooms on the first floor, and then a potential second floor. Where are you heading first? If you push people and you push past them, what's your destination?
There you
go. Is there any particular area where the sound seems to be coming from the loudest in the house?
I would say there's one where the sound seems to be the faintest, if that makes sense. It doesn't seem to come from the room that's immediately to your right.
Well, first, Dee, can you check and see if there's any sort of electronic component to this, whatever's going on here?
Yeah, I'll check and see if it's
as soon as Kieran says that, I stop.
If I notice any like sound system or anything that would account for that sort of thing.
Electronics. There's a TV set, but it's not working.
Hmm.
The house has been wired,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not working.
Not working how?
Imagine if there
Device is
weren't any
broken, or
breakers. So, like, the cables are there, the possibility is there, but if you flick a switch, nothing's gonna happen.
and everything's off. Then,
And it's,
right.
yeah, everything is off. And
Wait,
it's
the
like that
TV's
for
turned
you.
off. Then what was making the flashing lights?
That's in another house.
Oh,
Different
okay.
house.
Okay.
The yeah, there should if they were working electronics in this building, they shouldn't be working. Something's got some breakers or something that are keeping the electricity from would be working if they were working, but nothing like that.
So you don't even detect anything like that's battery powered or anything.
No,
It's
which
all...
would be weird because if this was a house that has been used frequently, they would have definitely it wouldn't be in this state.
The voices are still there, by the way. Sometimes, it ebbs and flows like a normal conversation.
Yeah. What?
I just thought of something. The voices and the darkness. We should be careful because getting an idea that maybe this is like some form of like the cabin.
I think this is a house outside the world.
Maybe. That's just an idea, I think. Just in that case, we should be especially careful because there are rules.
All right. Do we just do we split and each take out a room, or do we do each room together then?
We should go together.
Yeah, let's not split if we might be in
Yeah.
another
Not
dimension.
split the party.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking as well. Just wanted to make sure we had consensus.
I would also, I think, because the party has opted for stealth, which I am all for, Morning is a little out of her depth, as she usually is when the answer is not swing big sword. So right now, and kind of as we are doing this exploring, she is letting the rest of the party step forward, and she's staying behind and near them and scanning surroundings constantly, always on alert, on guard kind of thing.
Okay.
Full Queen's Guard bodyguard Morning mode right now.
Yeah.
Finbar will be in the mode where if he's hearing anything that sounds like Nama's voice, he's focusing in wherever that's coming. That's what he would be doing right now.
So the four of you walk deeper into the house. I mean deeper. The house is not super deep, but you all cross the entrance. Walk forward, and Morning, because you are the last one in the back, you would see Kieran D and Finbar just slowly fade from your vision, as if they were crossing a curtain.
Cool. Great. Yeah.
Kieran being the first one, you do not see anyone. Whoever is right behind Kieran would see Kieran also fade, like he was passing beyond a curtain. And then the third person would have seen the first two. Morning sees the rest of everyone. That curtain seems to lie right where, in the corridor, right where you could reach that first room. You know, the one that I said that was just outside of arm's reach? So, I don't know, 3 feet inside? Yeah. Just one by one.
Excellent. Good things.
Morning, because you are the last one in the back, what do you do upon witnessing this?
So I think I kind of test by sticking my own arm out and seeing if
The farther out it goes, the more invisible it becomes.
Okay, I am definitely on board with Dee's theory right now, but I am gonna follow them because it doesn't do any good if I stay here and can't see them.
By the time you step through, and it'll be the same for everyone as I cut for break, you find yourselves not in the same house where you were, but in this ancient, rickety, let's say unsafe, wooden house. You're in a hallway that's been distorted with time, as if the weight of whatever building you're in had like shifted and like part of it had sunk, so that the floors are uneven. The door frames are clearly broken. You can see cracks in the walls. It's all made of planks of wood. Sometimes there are cracks between them. Through the cracks, there's no other wall in back of them. It's just dark. And you can hear the voices clearer now. They're speaking English. Some of them, two of them in broken English. Seems like those two speakers aren't fully bilingual. One of them you can recognize as Yoshi's. The other, you're not quite sure.
But can we recognize the affect? Like if they're English second language, can we recognize what the first language accent is?
That would require a intellect and culture.
Okay. I have no culture. Let's see how this goes.
Well,
Shall I?
Oh, and by the way, the corridor that you're in, you're alone.
oh wait, you didn't mention that part.
I forgot that part. Yes. I think that might be a little more
We're all
pressing.
by ourselves?
You're by yourself.
Each of us?
Yes, and each of you is not. Well, you're in a hallway made of planks of wood that looks to be
Wait.
in an old construction. And it goes, forward, and there are, doors on each side. And if you look in back of you, there are doors on each side. They look to be almost like in a Scooby-Doo-esque fashion, like they all face each other. And the hallways just go on forever.
So we are all seeing the same thing, but we no longer see each other.
Yeah, you're by yourself in this corridor.
Do any of the rest of us, is it just Kieran hearing the voices, or is it all of us?
All of you.
Okay. I would like to roll then.
Go right ahead. Wow.
Woohoo!
Wait, with 0
Excellent.
successes
Good.
there, does that get us a momentum on Kieran's roll?
Oh yeah. Do we get?
Yes.
Yay!
Yes, it should. Thank you for reminding me, Finbar. Robert, with your 5 successes, yeah, that's true. You're a professor and all that. So it is old, but like Iron Age old.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds Celtic. Not Gaelic, but like
Celtic.
older back. Yeah, have you ever heard IRL someone speak Briton?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what it sounds like. And if you haven't, during break, I can send you a link. It's very strange to hear.
Old enough it makes the King James Bible sound modern. Right?
Yes, because it predates Christianity. Well,
Yeah.
sorry, in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
No, actually, does it? Oh my god, no, I think it predates Christianity, period.
It probably does.
When does that
But
end?
it's that old.
No, sorry, it wouldn't be Iron Age. What am I saying?
Bronze Age?
It would be right after the Bronze Age. Well, mind you, it lasts until 600 BC. Yeah, it might. Let's see. Let's see. Yes. Late Bronze Age, actually.
Late Bronze Age, that's what I was going to guess.
My bad, I don't know why I always think that Bronze Age came before Iron Age.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like, you have heard, like, bits and pieces of that language, or at least a reconstruction, an approximation
Right.
of it, if only because this is a completely dead language.
Yeah, but I'm hearing it now as if it's being spoken, for lack of a better way of saying it, by like a native, or by a native.
Oh yeah.
This isn't some grad student project trying to do an interpretation using that language. This is someone who naturally speaks it.
Yes, and you would even notice that in some aspects, whatever recreation we have by modern, like, scholars, some of it is completely wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And I believe that with everyone separated, before we go on to see what happens to each and every one of you, we're going to take a short break. And that way, when we come back, we can just split the screen in 4 and have you look around a little. This is going to be interesting. So,
Fun begins.
don't go, people. We'll be right back. 5-ish minutes. Just get some bio break, get some water, and find the Wikipedia page about Britain and the language spoken there, if you want to hear kind of what it sounds like. We'll be right back. Hey, we're back. And we have a little bit of a tech issue. Give me a moment. Oh, I believe that's because
The other two
We're
were
missing-
away.
The other two are gone.
my bad. I wasn't looking. We're gonna be right back. Hello, we are back. Cams should pop up. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And everyone is separated. Let me just stop that for a second. Maybe put this. Just so we have a little bit of tension. All 4 of you stand in what appears to be an infinite corridor with doors to the left and the right. They're all equidistant from each other. Again, the place looks old, rickety. I'm not going to say in shambles, but it looks like a place that would be very unsafe. Very not built up to code, as it were. With just pure, inky darkness in the cracks between each planks. When you walk on the floor, by the way, it creaks and groans, as if the very substance of the place was alive and every step you took heard it. Who would like to go first? Who do we cut to first?
Morning, you
Don't
muted.
Are you? Oh, give me a second.
You did.
Let me see. Can you try again? Nope, still muted. No, but I think it's just Video Ninja. If you can just, like, refresh the thingy. Yeah. Apologies. Just to check while Renee's coming back. Lynn, can we hear you?
Lynn, you're
you
muted.
are muted, though.
Lynn's muted too.
There we go. How's that?
Okay, so Lynn, I
There we
can
go.
hear you. Robert, Hannah, Renee.
Hello.
Hello. There
Now
we
we
go.
can
There
hear
she
you.
is.
There you go.
Now we're all back.
Video is a very strange
Finicky,
platform.
yeah, might might switch
I don't know
that.
what happened while I was gone, but I said while the platform was being weird that I would happily go first, as I know what I'm going to do.
Okay. Then let's start with morning.
Is there a door behind me?
Nope, the corridor goes, front and back of you. The doors
Great,
are on
cool.
each side. So there is
I
technically
do-
like doors in back of you in the sense that, but it would be to your left and your right.
Right. It's not behind me there. It's just there are doors that direction.
Yeah.
I shrug, grab the sword, and I do like a full swing attack at the corridor walls and see what happens.
Oh. Give me that roll. We'll see how much damage you do. That would be might in close combat. Plus that +1 because of your sword.
As it often is, might.
And
Close combat.
whatever other bonuses you might have, depending on if you have any boons or knacks or what have you that would fit in that.
Probably just the sword. I mostly have the sword. Okay, 5.
So 5 successes. You swing at the wall itself, and you hack through it, and you see the planks just break under the impact. They get sucked into the darkness, and you can see for a moment, like when they get sucked in, it ripples like water, and in that ripple, you can sort of see like a glimpse of the house you were in London like 2 seconds ago.
I make a dive for that space of the ripple.
Do you dive as it ripples, or do you wait after the ripple and then dive? Just
As it ripples.
as it ripples?
Like as soon as I see it, I like turn into a launch myself forward.
You go through, you reappear actually like rolling into the living room where you were, maybe like a foot away or two from where you were when you entered the curtain.
Kieran? Dee?
Oh, they're not gonna hear you, I'm afraid.
Finbar?
There's the voice of a woman that comes out of the kitchen.
I whirl and point my sword towards it.
Well, towards the voice, you mean?
Yes, yeah, towards
Yeah,
the kitchen,
yeah,
towards the voice, yeah.
The person doesn't come out of the kitchen. But you hear, it says, they're probably going to be busy for a while. I don't think they are as resourceful as you were. Mind you, tea is about to be ready. And as the voice says that, you hear like a boiling kettle go off. Like just a whistling.
I will slow steps, still holding my sword aloft and ready to swing at a moment's notice. But not so far in front of me that like someone could potentially grab it. And I make my way towards the voice calling out, "Who are you?
When you step,
Where are my friends?"
when you step into the kitchen, the woman that you see in front of you is clearly not human. You see deer legs. Long, lithe, furry legs. It begins with hooves and connect at the waist to a human body. It's not an entire deer bottom half, it's just two legs, like a satyr almost. They're covered in ivy, like if the person was wearing ivy pants, like a grown ivy is sort of pants, but there are like torn pieces of fabric that make up a sort of loincloth. You can see that the legs are also wrapped up, like through the ivy, they're like wrapped up bandages around the legs. From the waist up, it is the human torso of a woman. The top is a little more modern in the sense that it looks like a tank top with wide like straps at the shoulder, sort of yellowish. It looks a little old and probably a little warm. Like imagine if someone had like cut up a sweater into the shape of a tank top, like ripped the sleeves off and just enlarged the collar. The arms, similarly from the wrists to the elbow, covered in ivy. The face is hidden, partially hidden behind a wooden mask. You can see piercing, like amethyst eyes through the mask. And then atop the mask, two little antlers going up, and giant ram horns going from the top of the forehead and back of the head around the ears and ending up, just about here. And the person also has like deer ears, not human ears. It's got 4 of them, 2 on each side. And she looks at you, kettle in hand. the other hand with, like, holding 2 mugs. They might be a while, and, well, it would be rude to swing this sword about in someone else's home, wouldn't you say?
I haven't much considered whether it would be rude.
Well, would it be rude to swing a sword at an old friend?
Do I recognize this person?
Not that you remember. I mean,
Friend? Who are you?
evidently. She sets the mugs down, the kettle down on the table. Never sitting, still standing up. And you can feel from her the same energy that you would feel in a deer that doesn't know if it should run or, ram you with its horns, antlers.
Both.
And she's, yeah, and she goes, we're not given names in the garden, But I've seen you. I know about you. I know about your friends that you made on this side of the world. I know how easy it is for you to just come and go. I've seen you be gifted things. And all the while, the rest of us are just... We have to keep doing what we do. No thanks. No breaks. No recognition. I've been watching you, morning. Been watching you being worshipped by the people of this world. I don't get it.
I'm going to ask you one more time. Before I swing this sword in someone else's home. Who are you?
If I must have a name... then I guess call me... She looks around the kitchen.
Kettle.
Dusk. It would be hilarious if you just call me Kettle Curtain.
Kettle!
No, she sort of looked around for something, but then settled on the word dusk.
I understand not having a name. It seems to me like you're dodging the question.
Well, you asked me who I was.
You're from the garden?
Yeah, I am. I was. I just wasn't, lucky or favored, as you were. The only thing I could do was watch you from afar in solitude.
Favored.
Yeah, favored.
By The Morgan?
Oh, if that's... I didn't really know where your lineage was, but clearly you could escape the garden on a whim, apparently, too. Miss, I want to see what the world is like. Yeah, some of us, we can't do that.
Well, you're here, aren't you?
And you're here to send me back, aren't you?
No?
Oh. I wasn't...
What did you think I was... You thought I was
Why are you
coming
here then?
for you?
Yes.
Okay, well, it's a little bit of a long story, but my friend's friend was kidnapped and we're looking for her.
The mortal girl.
I guess there are a lot of mortal girls.
I don't remember what her name was, but the black-haired young woman from the Isles, I think, something like that. Another
you know,
another
so-
prized pupil or something. Yeah.
We had a lead and it led us here. We didn't know you would be here. I'm sorry I didn't know who you are.
It's fine. No one does. It's not important.
But I mean, I'm not here to fight you or anything. We just thought you were a kidnapper. I thought you were a kidnapper.
And what if I am? What are you gonna do
Well, I
then?
do still have my sword. Are you a kidnapper?
She looks at you, she looks at the sword and goes, "No?"
Do I believe that?
Make a fairly easy. Composure and empathy.
Sure.
We'll go with difficulty 2.
This is the principle of if you're a cop, you have to tell me. That's the law.
Gosh dang, 1.
Well, that will be 1 point of momentum.
Sure.
You get the feeling that she is partially truthful, at least. You get the feeling that it might be a little more complicated than that, but also it could be very simple. She might be making it more complicated.
Okay. So, I do kind of relax the sword. And I kind of lean against the entrance to the kitchen. Kind of makes me feel like maybe there's a misunderstanding.
Could be. Why do you want the girl?
Like I said, she's my friend's friend.
Your friends?
I've never met her. Just helping him out.
Oh. Okay. Well, then
But
she starts pouring like water in the mugs as she's talking.
He's busy. You said he'd be a while. Otherwise, you could ask him yourself.
Oh, I mean, you were resourceful enough to get out of there. The others, your friends, that they might just be dead for all I know. And she plucks a few leaves of her like shoulder ivy thing and puts them in and the mugs.
No, nah, they're resourceful too.
Well, I hope for their sake, because the others... I mean, I have my reasons, but the others, they really don't like them. And we're gonna cut there as she talks about the others to maybe see what one other person's doing. Who's next?
I'll go.
Kieran. Something, corridor goes on for infinite, doors left and right. Rickety wood. What do you do?
Try to peer through the cracks, see if I can see what's actually back there.
There is darkness. Just pure darkness.
Okay. Go for the first door, see what's in there.
You open the first door. It is unlocked, by the way. Swings open, creaks a little bit as you do so. And you see a familiar place. An apartment. You think you recognize the walls, the wallpaper. You definitely somewhere in you recognize the smell. There's this woman in the middle of the room. She's cradling a baby. A baby Kieran. You see your mother. The room itself is mostly devoid of furniture. It's just her, half of a couch, the other half just, just disappeared. And she's just, holding the baby in her arm, singing like a lullaby or something.
So this is like a memory.
Of you.
Right, I'm gonna check another door.
You close this one, you open another one. Again, a memory, a boardroom. There's you, there's Morning, there's Dee, there's Finbar, there's Eddie. You're talking to... oh god, what was her name again?
Wasn't it something generic like Mary?
Yeah, the like... No, that's not her. Oh god, but yes, the person who becomes like the administrative assistant at what used to be Wolf Security.
Okay, so there's no chronological sense to these doors. It's just like random.
But in fact, when
memories.
you open that one and you see like the boardroom and everything, you see yourself in there.
Right.
But you look at yourself. I mean, the one sitting down at the table looks at you. God, this is going to be complicated. You open up the door, smiles, and just does a little wave. Which you remember
Does it
you never
look
did.
like me?
Oh, looks like a carbon copy of you.
Okay, I'm gonna go in and investigate further. See if I can touch anything in this room.
You walk in, the other Kieran just is content to just look at you. Smirk as you move about. What do you touch?
I'm gonna try to touch Dee.
She's there, she's physical, she's got substance.
But does she acknowledge me when I touch her?
Absolutely not.
Can I touch the table?
You can touch the table. It's a table.
Okay.
You notice though that like in the boardroom, like it's not the entire boardroom, like it's missing part of a wall. Again, as if there was this invisible curtain and part of the wall was like clipping through it and so wasn't visible.
So
And-
it's sort of like a sitcom set.
Yeah, kind of.
Where it's only got the 3 walls.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll turn to the Kieran who's sitting there. He's looking at me.
Oh yeah,
He
and
knows
he's
that I'm here?
smirking like a little.
What is this?
Don't you like it?
What? This is my memory. But what is this?
I mean, it's a memory. It's also kind of a brain fuck, if you ask me.
Who are you? Why are you? No, you know what? I don't care who you are. I have an idea who you are. Why are you doing this? And what is this place?
Oh, this place is just there to mess with you.
This whole place is just here to mess with me.
Well, I mean, you general sense of you. There are 4 of you after all, aren't there?
Yeah, where are the others?
Well, I don't know. This place is a maze, if you ask me.
Oh, you didn't build this place. This is your
Me?
place.
No, I don't build anything. Oi, would you build anything with those manicured hands of yours?
I take care of myself. It's... So then what? Is this your... the god house? What is this place?
Well, it depends. Do you mean the room where we are, or do you mean the whole thing?
The whole building, the whole house.
Oh, well, you know. You got the big lodge by the sea, apparently, so we needed to have something of our own.
We? Who is we?
Oh, well, you know, me and my friends. I'm
Now,
allowed
who
to
are
have
your friends? No, you don't have any friends, and you're not allowed to have any friends. Who are your friends?
Well, who the hell are you, anyway, to tell me
I'm
you're
Kieran
not my
Kearney.
mom?
Who do you fucking think I am?
Oh, you were Kieran
You're
Kearney.
the person who's trying to take over my life. I'm the original.
You slipped through the cracks for about a year. So, someone had to step
That
up.
doesn't mean that you can just step in. That's not how it works. Not in this world, not in any other.
Well, I mean, ask anyone on the streets and, they're gonna say, I'm Kieran.
But you're not. You know, if you really thought that you were legitimately Kieran, you wouldn't be hiding like this. You would come out and you would face me yourself.
Well, that's the whole point, you see. Kieran does not come out and face anyone. Kieran lies in wait for his prey to come to him.
No, that ain't even true. That ain't even true. I went and I killed a big old beastie, you know, fighting, like,
Oh.
fisticuffs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't lie in wait. I'm not a coward.
Oh.
You got me all wrong, man.
What was that like?
What do you mean, what was it like?
Well, you fighting a beastie.
Well, it was a beastie. We all went and, I mean, like, why do you care?
Well, you're not much of a storyteller, are you?
Well, not to you.
Well, that's fine then. I guess I'm just gonna have to fill in the gaps after I'm done with you. Fighting a beastie. Sure. And you see, as he says that, he begins to open his, like, coat and draw a throwing knife from it.
Oh, hell no. I'm gonna take out my Fenrir's Fang. I'm like,
And
is it a knife fight? Is it?
He's going to throw that knife at you.
Okay. I'm going to... You know what? I'm gonna catch it with my body.
What is your stamina?
My stamina is 2.
Oh! He throws the knife, and you just, blink of an eye, dodge it as it plants itself on the wall on one side of your of your neck. Oh, there might be some truth to those tales of ye fighting. Interesting.
I would like to take the knife.
Pop the knife out of the wall. It's like almost like a foot long.
Mm-hmm.
Looks balanced, looks wicked. Sort of a wavy, it's like two wavy blades that form the blade itself, like two wavy parts, if you will, with like a an empty part in the middle. The empty part looks almost like a drop. It's got a nice...
Shouldn't have done that. My knife now.
Well, I don't think so. And he snaps and the knife reappears in his hand. Do you think you're the only one?
Don't you do that!
What, do you think you're the only one with gifts, Kieran?
Well, I thought so, yeah, until just now.
You're not that special. I mean, you're so not special, there's now two of you.
You know what? If you really want to take over my life, then come and kill me for it. Where are you, you coward?
Oh, I'm right there. And he draws the other knife and is going to... He jumps, you know, from his seat to go at, like, lunging at you. And we're gonna just cut here and go to someone else.
Freaking great.
Who's next?
Good. I can go.
Alright. D, corridor, blah blah blah, rickety, darkness, doors.
I hate being right about this sort of thing. So, well, I'll open up one of the doors.
You open a door, you are immediately assailed by the sound of electronics. Like bells just going ding ding ding, things ringing, lights flashing, machines. You find yourself in a what looks to be oh god, those gacha, the actual real like gacha games. Oh, how'd you call them? They're like slot machines in Japan.
Pachinko machines.
The pachinko machines.
I know
yes.
exactly what they're.
You're in
yes.
a pachinko parlor.
Mm-hmm.
It's just bright. There's a lot of noise, a lot of machine, and yet not a single person.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, you know, overstimulation the room. And you notice many of the machines, the theme of them, you know how like the pachinko machines sometimes have like a theme, like a pinball machine would have like a theme. They're all about you.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Don't like it, but test it out. Are they making? Are they? They're on, right?
Oh, they're all on, and they're playing by themselves.
I'm gonna test something. I'm gonna turn the first 5 that I see off.
Click, 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 click. When you close the 5th one down, you wait a breath and click, 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 click. They turn back on.
Interesting. I'll speak to the closest one. Why are you here?
And you hear a voice in Japanese, the gruff voice of a man, a little how can I say, a little amused, and it says they're here for my own entertainment. You recognize the voice of Yoshi.
Hmm. I'll just sit at the pachinko machine that I'm at. And exactly what is this? All this.
And Yoshi comes to sit at the machine next to you.
Mm.
And he's gonna start playing as you're talking. He never once looks at you, he just looks at the machine. He says, well, I have to keep myself occupied. This place is boring as all hell. It's not like the nice little lodge you had.
Yes, I know you're pretty well acquainted. So, why are you not here? Why aren't you out and about instead of being here?
You know how it is. some guy has a plan, he needs the muscle, goes to get me. Kind of like how, you know, your group has plans, but they need someone to make the spirits do all the legwork. Don't you just hate it?
Sometimes. And Dee will do the thing. She'll look at him, put her elbow on the counter, and just like under it. And with that armor, enjoying that?
Oh, very much. I'm not wearing it currently. It's at the dry cleaner, but it still fits me. A little bit snug. I must have put on a couple of pounds since, but like a glove. Have I thanked you for that yet? I think I thanked you for that.
I think you thanked us enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with all that, the armor, and I know necessarily how it works. You're still, you settled on being a lackey for someone. That's interesting.
Oh, watch your mouth, godling.
I mean, I see. I'm saying what I'm seeing. You said you're not. I mean, who you're working for might be high and mighty, but what you just said, you're just muscle. And that's a shame. Honestly.
Well, everyone's got to have a 9 to 5, you know? Just long enough that I can afford my own place, you know, in the overworld. It's not gonna take that long. You see, there's there's so much going on. You know, in the time you were gone, there was a lot that happened. You weren't there to stop it. So I might just be some muscle right now, but I am some muscle who has kept busy.
Yeah.
And I know I'm not going to be a lackey, as you say, for long.
Yeah, that's the important question. What do you want afterwards? Exactly.
Well, the first item on my list is to get back at Dad.
Mm-hmm. And?
Well, if I get back at Dad, take his place, then I become the god of war. And then I can retire, have a son, you know, try to live a life normal, then, you know, win Best Narrative at the Game Awards. No, once I become the god of war, you know, I'm on equal footing with everyone. That would make you something like niece to me or something like that. Anyway, I'll
get close. I'll get very close to something. And then what? Exactly. God of War.
Well then, I don't know who else I'm gonna go after first. Maybe Inari. You know, how good of a fighter is the deity of, what is it, rice and peace? Sounds like a bad Jane Austen novel. So maybe him first. You know, apparently I've heard that it's like a family trait. Have fur and tails. I'd get myself like a nice foxtail hat, you think? And now he like leans on the counter and turns to look at you. Wouldn't you say it would look good on me?
But why? Why exactly? Why do all that? Why are you doing it? Exactly.
Why shouldn't I? Why shouldn't you? Do you just want to spend your life serving your... Well, not just them, but all of them. That's not a life. You know that they will consume you once the time comes. You know that none of those gods... There's a reason why there hasn't been any real new divinity in the overworld for centuries. They don't want that. They don't play fair. I sure as fuck am not gonna play fair. But apparently you and your little pals are just... I don't know, it's a big Oedipal thing, I think. Where you're still enamored by your parents. You don't really see...
You do know that that's not exactly how that works, right?
Oh, because you know everything about divinity now?
No.
What's this? You go visit the Irish for a year, and then all of a sudden you're, Miss Know-It-All?
You know, it's a few days, and she'll stand. If you're gonna do what you're gonna do, go ahead.
He looks confused. Gonna do what?
I'm here.
What?
I have no weapons. If you're gonna... Are you all talk?
Oh, I see. And he gets up, like wipes his hand on his, like, red leather jacket. You're taunting me.
No, I'm just tired. Come on, muscle. If you're gonna do something, do it. They sure as hell didn't hire you to think, did they?
You've got that right. And he's going to sock you in the stomach with his fist. D, were you going to do anything? Did you have an ace up your sleeve that I didn't know about? Okay.
No.
Sue, what is your stamina? D?
Oh, my stamina is 3.
3? Okay. Oof. I'm sorry. That is 6 successes.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to take an injured. Yeah, injured condition. No, wait. That is that might not be because you have a lot of HP, right? You've got like a bunch of bruised.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. No, that would go all the way to injured because 6 minus 3. Or no, wait. That's not how damage works. He hits 3 successes. He could use 2 to make it up. So it's your second bruise actually. Your second bruise gets checked. And with that last extra success, he's just gonna drop it. He just hits you in the stomach, and as you double over, he's like, "But you're not even fighting back."
I'll damage conversion to make that, to decrease the severity of that.
To nothing, basically.
Yeah. Feel good?
That's just not how it should work. Come on, like, put up a fight or something. No?
What? With these No.
You're no fun.
Didn't say it was fun.
Do you really want to just end it? I can just go get my sword.
Then get your sword.
All right.
I am tired of you just peacocking around. Get to it then.
Gonna get my sword. And he leaves the room. And you don't need a check. You have way enough empathy to know that you have hurt him more than anything physical could have done. And you know it. Yet he leaves, hardly keeping up the facade as he exits the room. The pachinko machines are silent. It's almost like they're holding their breath. And we're gonna skip over to our last player, Finbar.
I'll just sit on top of the pachinko machine, just waiting. I'll just
The
sit there.
pachinko machine's just witnessed a murder. Like,
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent, Lynn.
Finbar. Corridor, doors, darkness, rickety wood.
All right. Do I still hear the voices?
Yes, you do. In your case, they come from farther down the corridor.
I'm going to go towards the being what I'm suspicious of it being some sort of mental labyrinth or something like that. I'm going to go against the instinct to check in the doors next to me, thinking that that's where they want me to go first. I'm gonna start walking towards the voices.
Okay.
To see if they get louder as I walk there, or if it's just a same volume throughout the entire hallway.
Awesome. As you make your way down, you can hear as you pass some of the doors, like in one, you hear the muffled voice of mourning. Just talking about swinging a sword or something. Then another door, you hear Kieran, I guess, grunting and shouting at another Kieran. Like it's two voices of Kieran. They seem to be like scuffling. And another one, you hear D talking. And that's when in back of you, a couple doors down, you hear one open and slam.
I turn around to see if anyone's come out.
Very quickly, Yoshi just exited a room and entered the one across the hall from it. He looks pissed.
I wonder what he's been doing in there.
About a second later, you see him exit that very same room he just entered. He's wearing a full, like, samurai regalia. He's got a sword in its scabbard in his left hand, and he goes into the other room again.
Oh, somebody wants to show off, it looks like. Couldn't handle it the way he was, so he had to go get his dress clothes to try to impress somebody.
And then a couple, like as you take a few more steps, the voices shift from in front of you to a room to your left.
I stand at the door and try to listen closely, see if I can make out what's being said.
An Englishman's voice says, "You know he's near. You know he's coming for you. He probably brought all of his friends with him. And that's unfortunate, because it means all of his friends are going to die. You're going to go free. Congratulations, Naman."
As soon as I hear him say that, I open the door.
When you open the door, you find yourself in a bedroom. It looks like, I'm not going to say a children's bedroom, but maybe like a early teen. You see like a few posters of like cartoon characters on a wall, but also of like boy bands. They're
Usual
yes?
standard young teen girl stuff.
Yeah, basically. But everything is just a little off. Like, they don't depict anything that's... Like, it's not like a Spice Girl posters. It's a... Well, the writing is too blurry and the people in there. Like, they just look vaguely like if it was oh my god, like someone that has astigmatism, and they just see like auras around lights.
Right.
And it's kind of like that. They're just like sort of auras around blobs of color. Like, it's just really just a surface level, like an AI generated bedroom. And there is a bunk bed, at the top of which, the second to top bunk, is sitting Naman. And she's staring down at the person talking to him, who's on the other side of the room, leaning on a cane with his little round glasses, his white hair, his perfectly trimmed beard, and that nasty scar on the side of his face. Man in his 60s, dressed in a shirt, a cravat, and a tweed jacket. None other than Professor Henry Morgan. And when you open the door, he says, "Ah! My good friend, my old pal, my colleague, Professor Odubda. Here at last to save the girl. Or should I say, to save your girl. Right, Finbar?"
Some bonds are so strong and important you wouldn't understand.
Oh, please. Just because I don't have children doesn't mean I don't understand the relationship. I had a mother, you know. I had a father. I know how it's like. How unique do you think you are, anyway?
I'm no more unique than anyone else. Except for one little thing. I have a bond to someone that you will never have. Something thicker than water.
Well, you'd be happy to learn that someone got himself a nice bond like yours. Yes, Professor. You're not the only divine being in this room anymore.
Oh, really?
That.
Have you found some sort of long-lost rich uncle that nobody knew about?
Something like that.
Or were you so desperate that you got someone to adopt you? Because no one else would claim you otherwise.
I would watch my tone if I were you, Professor Odubda. You know that the only thing that is keeping you and little Miss Naman over here safe is my own goodwill. And the fact that I've promised the others that they could each have their moment with your little friends. You're going to be free to go anyway. It's not like you were a threat. As if the Tuatha de Danann could be a threat to anything. I mean, is it the reason you were gone for a while? Wasn't it because your whole shtick burned to the ground?
No, it didn't burn to the ground. We prevented it from happening by killing the Balrog.
Ooh.
You know what? Doing service for the people, unlike leeches like you that try to live off of them rather than doing something for them.
I provide a great service to this world of mortals, Finbar. You're just unaware of it. But believe me, the time will come where you will see that I was right all along. That moment you will beg for my forgiveness. And I will probably forgive you. Because you see, ever since we started on our path of academia, I knew you were in the wrong. You've always been in the wrong, but I admire how headstrong you are. I'm just smarter, quicker, all around better than you are.
A legend in your own mind, shall we say.
A legend in the world, too. Who do you think is keeping this place together?
Well, from the look of the condition of it outside, it's not holding itself together very well. It's a little bit on the twisted side. But then again, you are a little bit on the twisted side, aren't you?
Going strong with the insults, are you? I haven't seen you trying to keep up a magical realm with just the power of your brain.
No, because I've had bigger projects on hand, like protecting the world.
Like protecting the world. Really? There's still people dying left and right in this world. Every waking moment that you spend, someone dies.
Life and death are the realities of this world. There's no way to prevent the death of the mortals. It happens whether, if we kept them all alive, one, there'd be nothing for the gods of the underworld to do, and two, eventually there would be no room.
Since
There's
when
a reason for mortality. There's a cycle for everything.
Since when do you care about the underworld? And also,
I care about a lot more than you think.
You care about the status
see,
quo.
With the gifts I've been given come responsibilities.
I see someone has been reading American comic books.
No. I've been reading stuff from before the beginning of time.
Oh, please. She's right here if you want to save her. Take her from the tower I've imprisoned her into. Be on your merry way. He looks at his watch. The others should be done soon anyway.
I turn sideways to keep one eye on him, and I look towards Nama and say, "Are you okay?"
She nods. You can see in her face she's scared, but mostly because she doesn't understand anything. You figure, you as a semi-divinity, a weird mental maze house thing is nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But to a mortal, like, if she was playing in Call of Cthulhu, that would have wrecked her sanity. Oh, yeah.
All right, there's one thing I want to do here real quick before I do anything else. And I don't know if I can or not. I want to scan her for magic. Since I'm Scion and she is my daughter, I want to find out if she has any Scion in her as well. Can I do any kind of magic scan to see if she does?
So not magic, you're smelling her, basically.
Pretty much, yes.
Because magic, the entire house is magic. That you can sense the magic all over the place. It permeates the whole thing. However, yeah, she smells like fresh cut grass.
I walk over and take her by the hand. Let's get out of here.
She hops down from the top bunk, and you make your way out of the room. And the door slams in your face, and we'll end with Professor Morgan just saying, they're gonna need a little bit more time, so why don't you and I settle some old feud? And I guess the fallout of all of these 4 scenes are just gonna happen next week. Which would be our last week, maybe, before Christmas.
Be careful what you ask for, Miss Dr. Morgan. You might get it.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you whacking him over the head with a baseball bat.
Oh, I've got something else planned beyond that for him. Attack me as a god, that's one thing. But he's going to face the wrath of a man of a father who's had his daughter messed with. There's no greater power than a father defending his daughter.
So, things are going to be interesting, to say the least. How's everyone doing?
Great.
Good.
There was a bit of setup that we needed before we got into this, but yes, it's going to be interesting. Thank you, players, for coming this Saturday. Time went by so very quickly. Let's just go around the table, tell us who you are, where we can find you. If you have anything going on, you want to shout out, we'll do the same order as we did the intros. I'll end with my spiel. I will start with D.
Hey, oh, this was so much fun. I can't now we got like 4 little cliffhangers with our little people next time. I can't wait. But yeah, I'm Lynn, Gremlin art pretty much everywhere. Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, all those places pretty much the same thing. You can find my art and what I'm doing throughout the week. And next time you'll see me is probably on Twitch.tv Otherdoc on Wednesday for our Dune game, which there is so much intrigue happening. People are there's vendettas, there's hidden like stores of resources, there's everything. I can't wait. It's great. Everyone is so like has so many masks on. It's the one-on-ones are incredible. I love it so much.
Nice. Thank you for coming. Hawkeye.
All right, I'm Hawkeye, Kentucky Hawkeye. You can catch me next on my Twitch channel Monday nights is Family Night at the Emporium, where my daughter Bonnie and I are playing through currently Lego Star Wars, the Luke Skywalker saga, or as we like to refer to it, the Quest for Mouse Droid, as we're going to try to collect the Mouse Droid character, since it's one of her favorites. We're working our way through that game. Tuesday nights is my weekly Skyrim serial. Currently working our way through the story Bevset, the Glass Lash. She's the sister of Bellathor in Whiterun. She escaped from the slavery he sold her into, and along with her companion Inigo, they have just about wiped out the slavery, but in the process, dragons have returned to Skyrim, and now she and Inigo are in the process of trying to make sure that the dragons don't enslave the whole world, let alone worrying about that slavery. So now they're in the midst of the main quest there. And then Wednesday night is Grappler's Keep, my WWE 2K22 universe, where a number of DMs, GMs, and RPG players from across the Twitch universe compete in a ring that we lovingly call the Dice Tray. We're on our way to our next premium live event, the Fiendish Stockade, which is our version of the Hell in the Cell. We got some good rivalries going right now. Hannah is still our Mistress of Mayhem Women's Champion. We premiered a number of new wrestlers, and I have another one coming up as soon as we decide on the outfit for her. She will be joining us. We'll make that reveal hopefully in the next 1 to 2 weeks. I'm waiting for her to get back to me on that. And then otherwise, you'll catch me back here next Saturday as I exact a father's revenge. Otherwise, you can catch me in your streams for our Cancer Cleric by day, RPG Fanboy by night.
Thank you for coming. Renee.
Hi, I'm Renee Rhodes. I've played Morning today, and I had a great time. I especially loved seeing the rest of the cast roleplay their interactions. They did such a great job, so please go check out their other stuff. I'm mostly on Twitter at RayDNR. I have a number of projects that I generally post there, but I am diversifying a little bit more to other social platforms in case the worst happens. So you can find me at RayDeanne on places like Instagram, Hive when it's back up, and Tumblr, Mastodon, even though I probably won't use all of them. um, Anything that I do, podcast streams, writing projects, will end up promoted there on socials. And the only thing I have in addition to this show right now is a one-shot holiday special on Amateurish Productions tomorrow, and then I have a stream coming back in 2020. So I'm really excited to be back on Girls Run These Worlds. Then I'll have more information for you in the new year. Thanks y'all so much.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming. And Hannah.
I am Hannah. You can find me on Twitter at Hanimation Art. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Tumblr at Hanimation Studios. You can find me on Hive at Just Plain Hanimation, and you can find my shop at hanimation.shop. Very easy, cute little things if you need some stocking stuffers for the nerdy person in your life. Lots of video game stuff. We all love video games. And you can find me next Monday at 7 p.m. over on Other Doc's channel for Don't Rest Your Head. Very exciting. Going to be my first time on that stream as my character, and I cannot wait. Very much looking forward to it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. Thank you, chat, for being here. Thank you, players, for taking time off of your Saturday to come play Scion with me. I can't wait for the fallout of these scenes. We've now introduced all 4 of the rival Scions, and also revealed the connection between Naman and Finbar at last. And yeah, things are gonna be interesting. That said, you can find me over on tomorrow night Praxagorathus Mephoria at 8 p.m. for the finale of Witcher Road's Home. Then we do not have Vampire on Mondays. We're gonna be back in mid-January. And so the next thing will be on Wednesday. You can find me on Devil's Lucky Gaming for the premiere of their Warhammer. I just retweeted the schedule, but their Warhammer 40k meat grinder kind of mini campaign where I'm going to play a smartmouth desperado in a world where everyone is highly, deeply religious, and he couldn't care less. Then on next Saturday here for Scion. We are going to take a break for the holidays. So basically after Scion on the 17th, we're going to be off for a couple of weeks, and we're going to come back in January with new stuff and more adventure. So on that note, take care everyone, have a good weekend, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.